Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, what's up, what's going on? I just want to talk to you guys about something that has been heavy on my mind. Oh, where's my other one? Heavy on my mind. I actually just want to talk about energy reading. I think I also want to talk about spells and how to break spells. I want people to know spells are 150% real, and we've all been under a horrible spell our entire lives, and for generations and generations we've been underneath these spells. Some of us are able to break the spells, snap out of the spells, and break these ancestral curses that have been passed down through generations. This video is going to be about energy reading. I don't know, advice on how I learned how to read energy, and how you can learn how to read energy too, and it's all within you. And it's not as simple as just buying a book that teaches you how to read energy. You really have to go within yourself and start doing the work, healing work, and it'll all come to you. It may not make any sense. Like, obviously you're guided to this video for a reason, and it may not make any sense right now, but trust and believe in the future when you start to evolve, because everybody's going to evolve. And when you start to evolve, all of this will make sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you now and it seems like a bunch of bullshit, cool. In the future, you'll be like, holy shit, that's why I seen that video. This is what it's now making sense to me, because it sometimes takes months of integrating a lesson into your existence for it to make sense to you. Like, you may not understand any of it right now, and that's how evolution works. That's how growth actually works. Like, nothing usually makes sense the first time you hear it. So yeah, with that being said, reading energy and dealing with energy in general, I don't know, it comes naturally once you start to awaken. Like, it just comes naturally, because the awakening process includes integrating your shadow side. The beginning of a spiritual awakening it's different for some people. They immediately go into shadow work, and then they have all these other symptoms that hit. Or sometimes you go through the hippie phase where you think everything is so beautiful and you can't believe everything's connected and blah 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 blah. All this shit just starts like making sense to you, and it's so beautiful. And then boom, shadow work hits you, and you realize, holy shit, I have been so toxic for so long of my life. I have not been able to recognize the toxic behaviors and traits and belief systems that I have kept within my being for so long, that now I have to fix and go back and work through and undo and redo and relearn and unlearn and all this shit you have to go through. And with that being said, once you start working on healing the inner child and the shadow work that you have to heal within yourself, whether that be whatever sort of toxic behavioral traits you have, whether it's a really toxic relationship, a toxic job, a health problem, whatever it is, you know, whatever it may be, once you start to heal that, you start to heal the inner child within you, and you start to heal all of the things inside of you that has been traumatized and broken for so long. A lot of these belief systems, which are spells, belief systems are spells, okay? Because a belief system comes from somebody else. It's somebody else's belief system. So I could literally tell you that everybody's gonna move to Mars in the year 3000. And if you believe that, I put you under a spell. That you believe you're gonna go your entire life like, oh, I can't wait till the year 3000, the next generation, everybody's gonna be on Mars. I just put you under a spell. That's how spells work. When you genuinely can make somebody believe something, whether it's true or not, they are under a spell, period. So once you start breaking these spells, these paradigms, these belief systems that no longer serve you, you know, for example, for me, I started having, which I'll talk about in later videos, but I started having problems with my liver more recently. I started having really bad health problems. It literally hit me out of nowhere, and it was something I didn't see coming, but also I was already preparing myself with knowledge and breaking paradigms and breaking these belief systems and these spells for so long that food is not related to illnesses. And food, you know, I just started really incorporating holistic health into my lifestyle well before I found out that I was going to have an illness that needed me to fast and needed me to use herbs and healing methods. I broke a generational curse and a belief system, a spell that I was under, in believing that what you eat has nothing to do with how your body is operating, how your body is functioning. It actually has everything to do with your health. And so I was able to break that spell, that belief system that things randomly happen to you and you have no control over what happens to you. So these are ways you break generational curses and spells that you're under. You're under these belief systems that may not be serving you. but you don't know, because it's what you've been taught your entire life. So breaking past and breaking through these spells, really shifting these paradigms to where they actually can serve you, because sometimes they will make a little bit of sense, but there's always a lie in something that's supposed to be the truth when it's being taught to us by other people. So being able to shift those paradigms and really come into who you truly are, you'll just naturally start being able to read energy, because when you find the toxicity within yourself, you can only see something when it's a reflection of you. So if you say, I don't have no trauma, but you're so, like, you have a badass attitude, you have a bad attitude your whole life, and you treat people like shit because of what you went through as a child or whatever may have happened, right? If you carry that with you your entire life, that negative behavior, those negative traits, and you don't see it as being negative, and you don't think you have anything to work on, how would you be able to find it in the world? How would you be able to read the energy outside of you if you can't read the energy inside of you, if you don't know that you have anything to work on? That's like somebody being like, wear your mask, I'm not toxic, I'm doing this for the health of other people, like, I care about people, I care about the environment, wear your mask. And then that same person wears their mask and then goes out into the parking lot of a store and throws the mask on the floor and litters that mask for somebody else to have to pick up. And if nobody else is picking that up, it's being swept into lakes and it's hurting other animals, right? That's toxic. And a lot of people don't think that's toxic, but that's toxic. It's really being able to find the toxicity within you, or learn the lesson from the toxic traits that you hold, and find out why you have these toxic traits, where they're being passed down from. Reading energy for me naturally came when I started to love myself, when I started saying, okay, I don't want to litter, I don't want to eat bad all the time, I don't want to drink alcohol every single night, I want to feed my body things that it needs to survive. You can either feed your body things that are fighting disease or things that are causing disease, you know what I mean? Like, there's always things that are antibacterial, antifungal, anti-parasitic, antiviral. Those type of foods, those are fighting disease, fighting illnesses, fighting cancers, those sorts of foods. So are you going to eat that, or are you going to eat something that's greasy and fat and mucus forming and actually causing disease and diabetes and shit like that? Are you, like, what are you feeding yourself? What are you feeding yourself mentally? Are you consuming a bunch of toxic TV shows, and are you consuming lots of toxic visual art, like things that are just full of gossip and hate? You just become your surroundings. So if you're surrounding yourself with gossip and people who just like to talk shit about each other, people who are so indulged in cancel culture and canceling people and being politically correct, and all of that shit is toxic. Because if you are willing to not be yourself to make other people happy, if you do things in alignment with seeking validation from other people, you're not living in your truth. You're living your one life for everybody else except yourself. Why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you really have to start asking yourself why you're doing the things you're doing. And if it's going along with a trend that you're trying to keep up with, you're not on the right path. There's two paths you can take. You can take that lonely path and be by yourself and really focus on things that make you happy and do things that literally bring joy within you, internal joy. Or you can make everybody else happy and be miserable inside. Do you want to live your entire life like that? Like, you literally have one life to live in this body. It's either that, or you can just live your life authentically to who you truly are. It doesn't matter who likes it. It doesn't matter who doesn't like it. It doesn't matter what anybody believes, that, or if they don't believe in your belief system. It doesn't matter. Everybody has a different lens. You've never lived somebody else's life, and you don't see through their lens. You see through your own lens. You have your own experiences for a reason, and you're being led back home, back to source energy, back to you, back to the soul. These are all ways to help you learn how to read energy. You have to do the work internally. You have to find the toxicity within you first. Reading energy is very helpful. You can see the motives of somebody else, and you can literally see what's about to happen before it happens. But you have to be able to find the toxicity within you and realize that there's two sides to every coin. There's two sides to every story, and there's two sides of you. There's the ego and there's the soul. The ego is protecting your image. It's really just protecting your feelings and your emotions that you think are you. And so you find the need to lie about things. This is all ego. Ego. When you just want to keep up with the trends, when you don't really know why you believe something, but you believe it because everybody else believes it. This is all the ego's work. The soul doesn't give a fuck about what the ego wants, because the soul is based off of what you need and the ego is based off of what you want, and they are not the same thing at all. So you will literally fight to the death to not face the soul. And so anybody who's telling you, who is living from their soul purpose, who's telling you things like, hey, maybe you don't need to eat McDonald's today, maybe you should have some fruit, maybe you should do a fast, maybe you should drink more water, maybe you should, that's gonna piss you the fuck off, because that's what you need to hear. And what you want to hear is, girl, let's go ride to McDonald's real quick, fuck it, like we'll start eating healthy tomorrow, fuck it. That's what you want to hear. Like, there's no point in being mad at anybody who doesn't believe in what you believe in, because you're operating from two different frequencies. You're on two different lanes. None of it is right or wrong. It just is what it is. Whenever you're able to integrate the soul to the ego and realize, okay, you need both to exist. You need the ego to exist in this 3D matrix, and you need the soul so that you can ascend, and that you don't have to keep coming back to this 3D matrix. You don't have to keep facing the same problems. You don't have to stay in this karma loop, this loop of this bad karma that you have. You can break free from it. You know, the world is so fucking evil. It seems like everybody's out to get you until you realize you're out to get yourself. I'm telling y'all, all of this I'm learning from doing my own shadow work. Like, I don't need anybody else's experiences. It's real nice to hear other people and to hear what they've been through, because a lot of it's very similar. It's very similar. It's just tailored and detailed to your own life experience, but it's very similar. Everybody's gonna go through this almost the same shit. So it is nice to speak to other people who have been through it, but you gotta understand that you're on your own mission, and your calling and your purpose here is different from everybody else's. You don't have to go and find your purpose. Your purpose is gonna find you. Whenever you start to find yourself, your purpose is just gonna fall in your lap. Like, you don't have to chase a dream of becoming a celebrity and being everybody knows you. Like, think about it. We all just want to be, I'm sorry, I'm ranting and raving, I'm going in circles right now, and I know it's about energy reading, but everybody just craves attention. Everybody just wants to be noticed by everybody. Why don't you just want to live your life? Why you want everybody in your business? Why you want to be the next Cardi B? No offense to her, but literally everybody's just in her business. Like, that's just besides the point. But anyways, energy reading, you'll only be able to find something if it's already within yourself. So if that's like you being able to spot a broken person from a mile away. You could, like Trisha Paytas, she's constantly talking about how people are broken. Oh, this person is broken, and Jeffree Star is broken, this person is broken. Do you know why she's able to do that? Because she's broken and she knows how to spot another broken person. And it's not shade, but you can spot something if you know how to find it, because it's already within you. You know, like me being able to see toxic traits within the outside of me is because I was toxic. And I have toxic traits that I have to heal and I have to work on, but I know how to find them. You can only find something if it's already in you. We're literally reflections of each other. We're like mirroring each other. That's all I can say. Energy reading will come naturally. You'll be able to tell who's doing toxic shit to the environment if you know how you're doing toxic shit to the environment. If you don't think anything you're doing is toxic, and you're littering and you're throwing cigarette butts in the water, and you're throwing beer cans in the dirt and shit, if you're doing all this shit, and you don't think it's toxic, how are you supposed to know on a major scale what's toxic and what's not? You can guess according to mainstream media and what everybody else is telling you, but you'll never know if that's a lie until you can find it within yourself. So really focus on your own toxicity, and then everything else will reveal itself. It's like the cloak will just lift. Like, it's seriously just that simple. You work on yourself, the inner version of you, and then the outer, it starts to reflect the outside of how you see things. It starts to reflect everything around you. So it becomes really easy to spot when somebody is lying to you. And sometimes the lying that they're doing is unconscious. So it could be even a family member that you love that isn't being honest with you about something because they don't know any better, you know? But now you know. So now you know how to spot when somebody's lying, when somebody's not lying. And it doesn't matter if the person loves you or not. It's unconscious. These are unconscious spells that we're under. We're literally like walking dead zombies. Like, people just are living on autopilot, living according to how they live their lives every single day for their entire lives. And so that's really all they know how to do. Some people say the same shit every day. They're living on autopilot. Think about it. Some people literally will come up to you at your job and say the same thing they said yesterday. Hey, how's it going? Did you hear about this? And they'll repeat the same thing because they're living on autopilot. They do the same thing every day. They don't break free of that cycle. So they get up, brush their teeth, check their phone, go to Starbucks, go to work, come home, go to sleep, get up, brush their teeth, check their phone, go to start. It's a cycle, and sometimes you can't break it. And the key to being free is to break the cycle in every which way of your life. If you have an addiction to something, break the addiction. If you're addicted to coffee, break it. If you're addicted to gossiping, break it. If you're addicted to your phone, stop using it for like 2 weeks. Go on a 2-week detox. Only use your phone to text people if you really need to. Stay off of social media for if you have an addiction to something, break it. It's hard. I'm still working on this. I love food. All right. But the more that I break my addiction to food, one, I'm starting to be more confident in myself. I'm starting to find myself, find my style, just find who I am. And it is making me more confident, but it's very hard to break these patterns that I've had passed down to me for so long on certain things that I love to eat that are not good for me. You know what I mean? So it's hard, and I'm working on it. And I want to take y'all along the ride of me, healing my inner child and really working on myself, doing my shadow work. I'm still doing shadow work. This is why I'm able to come forth with this information. If I wasn't doing it for myself, I would not know how to find it. Sometimes taking a break from people, I don't like, y'all, I don't like social media no more. It's so toxic. I get on it specifically to share positivity because I'm tired of seeing the same shit every day. Something in the world is happening that's separating us from each other even further. This shit is so toxic and it's so premeditated. We hate each other for every reason possible. The one thing that humans have that make us stronger than the 1%, this elite population, if you believe in it or not, that's up to you, is unity. A lot of people like to say that, racism and all that shit is not mental illnesses, but you have to think about how mentally gone and ill you have to be to think that you're separate from another human being based upon skin color. That shit is so mentally disturbing and ill and off. You're off in the head if you think that you're better than somebody because of your skin color. We are all human beings. That's like a brown lab not liking a white lab because they're different colors, but they're still labs. They're still dogs. I don't care if you speak Chinese. I don't care if you speak Italian. I don't care what language you speak. You're a human being. You're an earthling, and so am I. So if you don't like me because of my skin color, you're mentally off in the head. And it's not our fault. We've been under mind control for so long. Everything that we're being fed through our TVs, it's bullshit. A lot of it is bullshit. It's shaping the reality around us. They could literally say tomorrow, oh, nobody like white people no more. And nobody's gonna like white people. They could literally just put up a bunch of propaganda, make stories and tailor them to a specific race of people, and nobody will like them no more. They do it all. It's happening. It happens all the time. It's happened 4 times in the past 2 years, and it's going to continue to happen. And so you can't change. I'm really on a tangent. You cannot change anything that's happening outside of you. You can only change how you react to it. Stop falling for the bullshit. Focus on you. You can't change what's happening in this world. It's always something dramatic and scary and sad happening. It's always going to happen. You can't change it. You can't change what they're going to show you on the news. You can't change what they're going to show you on Facebook and all of these. You can't change none of that. You can change your actual reality. You can change your reality that's not based upon AI. You can't change computer simulated reality. You can't change it. Because if you try to put out anything positive, you're going to be censored anyway. You can't change what they want to show people massively. You can't change that. Change you. Because as soon as you start changing, the whole world around you starts looking different. And people may stop fucking with you because you're no longer a reflection of them. And people only, if they can't see themselves in you, they don't want to fuck with you. If you're not trying to party with them every weekend and drink and turn up, and you're trying to meditate and drink tea, and read self-help books, self-care books, you really think that person that was partying with you every weekend and was relying on your energy to feed them, you really think they're gonna give a fuck about you then? You really find your real friends and who really fucks with you when you start living your own life and being true to who you are, and those people actually stick around, and they may not agree with you, but they still fucking love you. That's my point. Live your life. Don't live for anybody else. Do what the fuck you want. Do what makes you happy, and don't do it because you feel influenced by other people. Do it because you feel like it's right for you. Yeah, this video went all over the place. I don't know what I'm going to title this video now because It was supposed to be about energy reading, but I literally just went on a tangent. I just feel like I haven't done this in a while, and I just need to take time away from social media and stuff. I really want to start doing fashion videos too, because I really got into I have my own style, and I just feel like sharing it with the world. But yeah, I love you guys, and just take care of yourself, man. Take care. If you don't take nothing away from this video, take away that you need to focus on yourself, and that you cannot change your outer world. You can only change your inner world, and then your outer world will start looking different, and you'll start feeling different, and you'll start moving different. And guess what? The Matrix, this world, this negative ass world, they're gonna continue to do. They're literally going. Once a fire has consumed everything in its path, the only thing it has left to consume is itself. So eventually, this Matrix is just gonna crumble on its own or by itself. All of this negative shit. Like, don't you feel the imbalance in life? Don't you know that there's two sides to everything? There's a yin and a yang, a left and a right, a good and a bad. It just seems like evil. We've tipped the scale of balance, and we're just evil. Everything is just fucking evil. Like, and so when things are too out of balance with nature, it consumes itself. Really just work on yourself, sit back and watch the show. I love you guys. Take care of yourself. 333. I'm going now. I'm out. Bye.